all the runners. Welcome in, everybody, to GG Speedruns. I am the Space Coast Gamer, Jeff. Welcome in. Glad to have each and every one of you here. So these guys have been competing and being part of the bounty that ZG set up, winning a pretty good bit of money for this. And tonight, these guys are going to be going for $200 is the grand prize. So a lot of money put up there by ZG and Mr. Dino. So let's look forward to an awesome race between Gutosur and Crunan. These guys, Crunan being the new world record holder as of yesterday, taking the world record at 22 minutes and 54 seconds. Very, very exciting. And whoever does win this gets a shot at Turbo Gilman for some more money in a 3 out of 5 match style race. So good luck, you guys. I hope that it's an awesome race. We're just setting up now, should be going here very shortly. So when these runners say that they're ready to go, we're going to see some really, really awesome turtles going on. Expect a very tight race between these guys. So, all right. So everybody's got they're ready to go. So we're going to be going here very shortly. And good luck to the runners. Make sure you cheer these guys on. Very, very awesome. Yeah, so they'll have a chance at beating Gilman. All right, countdown's on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go, guys. So runners will again be picking Raph as the fastest and most strong turtle. So we'll see that very shortly, and let's see who gets the early advantage. Crunan taking off just a little bit before Gudo, so we see that. All right. Looks like Gudo may be having a little bit of trouble with some input issues. So let's see if there we go. All right, now we're good. All right, here we go, guys. Runners are taking off, and we'll see who gets the lead here very pretty. Crunan taking the just slight. Oh, actually, there we go. And now, like I said, this is going to be back and forth. So we're going to be watching these guys taking the pretty much same route for killing off of all of these foot soldiers. Probably both playing it safe on the first round, just to see where they end up gauging where their opponent's going to be. So let's root these guys on, see who can get through. It looks like Crunan's just a little bit ahead of no, actually, I am so sorry. Gudo's just a little bit ahead of Crunan at this point, making it to the robots before Crunan. So, but again, it's going to be very tight in here. There's a lot of things that could happen in this race. A lot of foot soldiers that could really mess up your day. Gutosur reaching the end of the sewer portion of New York. Is going to be heading off into the New York section here very shortly with Crunan right behind him. Here we go, guys. All right, you're seeing these guys take out all the turtles, and wow, there we go. 118 coming out of the sewer is very, very fast. We're looking at about a 10-second difference between our runners currently. Crunan just getting up into the first part of this, so not bad. It is definitely tournament nerves. He definitely will shake this off. I am very confident in what Crunan can do, especially being the brand new world record holder of this game. But do not count Gutosur out. Definitely an awesome runner of this game. So here we go. Into the truck. Here comes these guys. And taking all of those foot soldiers out just fine. And going to grab that little pizza power there. And off he goes. Getting rid of everybody with the pizza power. Definitely a good time save there. All right, Crunan's off to his pizza power. And getting rid of all of them as well. So both of these guys doing well. Oh, Gudo falling down a hole there. That'll be all right. There we go. And as Raph is taking out all of these guys are neck and neck now. I think that we're basically caught up again. Gudo being just slightly ahead at this point. 2 or 3 seconds at this point. So Crunan having a fantastic New York City stage. Here we go, guys. All right, so you'll see what these guys are trying to do is use that one shot on all of these foot soldiers to allow it so that they're not going for 2 or 3 shots on each foot soldiers, obviously making it so the time is a little bit shorter. Wow, actually, looky there. Gutosur just slightly ahead there, getting to the pizza monsters a little bit faster than Crunan at this point, but anything can happen at this point. Those the bosses, the pizza monsters, anything can change the dynamic of this run. So just watch them both. I expect every race coming out of this being very close, within seconds of each other. All right, here comes the last set of foot soldiers for both of these runners. So we'll see the 3 on the bottom on both sides, followed by 3 that come out left and right, followed by Leatherhead. Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. So glad you guys can be a part of this. Make sure you are rooting on both of these guys, and especially your favorite between Guto and Crunan. All right, so we're going to see these kicks going back and forth, and the specials trying to get rid of some of that health there for the last part of the stage. And both of them doing really well, taking care of them. And there's our first boss kill there by Guto. And there's a little bit of a hit there by Leatherhead there to Raph on Crunan, but not too far behind, guys. So we're talking see here, we can count it right now to see where they're at. So it's looking like about 7 or 8 seconds now that we're talking Guto's ahead of Crunan, and at this point it's going to stay about 7 or 8 seconds through the auto scroller into the pirate ship. So here we go, as we watch these guys try not to take it too many hits here, as Rocksteady at the end of this stage, definitely a beast. Does a lot of damage, does a lot of quick damage at that too, between all of his shoulder batches and everything else. 8 seconds is definitely nothing. You're absolutely right, Sexy. This run can change in the matter of a whim, but just giving you guys the heads up of where we are. We're talking literally 8 seconds between these runners. So, whereas if you've been following this tournament, you know, you can usually see quite a difference between where the runners are standing. So, very good job by both of these runners to stay the course while they make it to the end there. All right, so here we go. Last bit of the Mousers there for both of these runners. Guto making it to the ship first, obviously due to the auto scroller, but not too far behind there is Crunan. So let's see what happens with all the foot soldiers, see how the management of the foot soldiers take place, and see if we can see any noticeable change between the two. But as of the moment, both of these guys routing the foot soldiers very well. The foot soldiers acting as they should. Guto taking them out one by one, doing a great job of it. And here we go. Wow, look at all those foot soldiers just die on the screen, guys. It is just a work of an art between these two runners. All right, taking them all out. He is definitely knowing where each and every one of these foot soldiers is going to come out on the stage, right in place for each and every one of them. And I've been seeing Crunan and Guto doing practice on this, so these guys are definitely ready for this fight. So we're talking 2 scenes between the runners, so this is definitely going to be a very close matchup going into Rocksteady, where anything can happen when it comes to Rocksteady. All right, so as we see Guto taking up a little bit of pace here with these the foot soldiers, ending up at the end of the stage here, taking out all of these little rock guys, doing a great job at it, managing them very well, taking them all out in 3 shots each. Very good job into the cave, as we see these foot soldiers die one by one. Good job, Crunan, taking all of these guys out. And here comes his last set of rock monsters as he heads into the cave himself. And we just had our first hug of the match. These foot soldiers definitely very loving, but we don't want love in this run, that's for sure. Great job with the rock monsters there by Guto. And another hug there for Crunan. So we're going to see a little bit of a little bit more of a Guto taking a little bit more of a lead here, but not a lot. Oh, there we go. So there's Guto's first real bad hit of this run, and now these guys are just going to punish. If they surround you, you don't want them around you that close, because all they're going to do is continually punch you. All right, here we go. Rock monsters taken care of. Great job there by Guto. Great job, Crunan, by taking out his rock monsters as well. All right, second set of rock monsters here for Crunan, taking them out very well, handling the one on the left side there before it even comes on the stage. And here's Rocksteady. Let's see how Guto handles his Rocksteady fight. You have links to follow the players. I do not have any of the links currently, but I think that if you were to just search them up there with their names there, you can find each of the runners. But anyways, here we go. Both of the runners handling it very well. Oh, there's a hit there on for Crunan. So Crunan's going to have to do a little bit of catch up here to make up for it. Doing a good job. Making sure he does. Ooh, trying not to get hit there. You don't want to take too many hits by Rocksteady. But still, handling it very well as we're making our way into Shredder's hideout. Guto making it there first. So we're talking about a 15 to 20 second difference at this point due to just a little bit of a rough Rocksteady fight there for Crunan. But still, not too far behind. Anything can happen, guys. So here we go, as we see Guto handling all of these, the foot soldiers really well into his second set of robots. And the hugs just continue on there for Crunan. There we go. Just get rid of them guys, Crunan. Great job there. All right, so we're heading into the sidewalk area for Guto here. Going to see a couple of these guys popping up from the ground. I'm going to want to take those guys out, push that rock back left so you can hit as many of those foot soldiers as possible. All right, so the fire guys definitely don't have to worry about those coming in here. He's just literally just going to keep going because you can continue to push the stage with those rock guys, those fire guys, because the fire guys are just going to walk off the stage quickly. Our first set of mousers here. Fantastic job here by Guto. Doing a really good job of managing the foot soldiers. Oh, that cave was very creepy there. Oh, and creepy again. All right, Crunan, we got to play some catch up here. All right, so here we go. Foot soldiers, get off of the stage. And so here we are in the hideout here for Guto. Guto doing an awesome job still, taking care of all of these foot soldiers. Handling the first one, second one, there's the third one, and just going to go back and forth with these guys. Trying to get the one-shots going in, and Crunan making his way to the hideout. Very, very good job. This stage is rough due to all of the platform stuff that's going to be going on in this stage. The bamboo shoots coming up from the ground, the lasers coming out from the ground. Very rough stage, that's for sure. But Guto handling it very well. It looks like Crunan's trying to play it a little safe so he doesn't take any of the hits from the bamboo. But looking like that yellow guy is just punishing today. He is not moving, and he finally did. Good job there by Crunan to make sure that those guys didn't kill him. It does not. It does not have a bad song. All of the songs are great, and the great thing is a lot of them come from the Turtles in Time game. So they do follow the arcade pretty well. Here we go. Lasers galore going on here. You'll probably see both of the runners taking shots from these lasers. They continue to go and they are relentless for sure. Oh my goodness. And there's our first death by Guto. And that's probably going to give us a chance to see Crunan catch up. So there we go. He died right at the last one, so was able to move the stage onto the last part. So we'll see if he's able to try and recap that lead a little bit. But this is definitely Crunan's shot to play some catch up here. All right, so we are off to Tatsu. Tatsu being in the first Turtles movie, the recruiter for the Foot Clan. It's basically one of the only places we see him, other than like in this game. So, but pretty easy fight. We're gonna go back and forth. Basically, you're gonna see him do a spin dash into a whole bunch of flying kicks. That is pretty much the optimal way to kill him, as Tatsu has finished for both of these runners. So we're about 10 seconds apart again, guys. So very good stage there by Crunan, making up a little bit of time there for Crunan. Guto's going to have to definitely play some more of these foot soldiers here in the later events. So he's going to have to do a little bit more to try and get that lead back. But Crunan doing an awesome job playing catch up here. So let's see what happens here in the gauntlet as we see all of the bosses again that we've already seen in the stage, followed by Baxter Stockman. He definitely has an ES. It was a fantastic go there for Crunan on that last stage. So as these guys take care of pizza monsters left and right, here we go. First Leatherhead is going to be for Guto, and it's going to be followed very shortly here by Crunan. Just a couple more pizza monsters, and we'll be seeing Leatherhead on our screen for both of these players. Here we go. So let's see how these guys handle it. Guto having a very good Leatherhead fight there, going back and forth with the flying kicks. Making sure not to take any hits, so very good job. And man, Crunan doing it just as well, just as good there, and I wouldn't expect anything less from either of these runners. All right, so Rocksteady, here we go. Very, very close here. So we'll see these guys try to avoid those little punches and kicks that Rocksteady's gonna throw at him. And wow, Crunan doing a really good job trying to keep pace there. Gutosur killing him first, and not 4 seconds later, Crunan is making a huge comeback, guys. Here we go, and here comes Tatsu, and see if any punch, any kick at this point on Guto's part is going to slow him down a ton, and Crunan can take the lead here at any time. So we're very, very close. And here we go. We're 2 health there for Tatsu, and both of them dying within seconds of each other, with Crunan having just a little bit of an advantage being on the right side of the screen. Here we go. Baxter Stockman could change this race completely, guys. Here we go. And these guys are dead even in tracks now. Good job by Crunan to make his way back. And let's see how Baxter treats both of these runners. Guto taking just a slight advantage of it. Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh, both of our runners taking a death there. So these guys are still tied. So we're literally neck and neck, guys. So seconds away from each other. So keep it up. Keep rooting these guys on. They definitely need it from you. So here we go. Ooh, that's not good there on the Guto part. But this Baxter can just be relentless, guys. Oh, it looks like Crunan's going to take the lead here. Here we go. So Crunan taking the early lead. Here we go. So off to the Technodrome here for Crunan first. Guto just having a little bit of bad luck there on Baxter's part. I don't think he's the most powerful boss, but he is one of the most tricky bosses in the game. A new strat to finish Baxter off. I did not know that. That's kind of a neat idea. Is it so they can continue to take the specials through Baxter? That's not a bad idea. All right, well, those guys taking deaths, but Crunan coming out just a little bit ahead of Gutosur at this time. So Guto's going to have to play some catch up here just to try and to keep pace here with Crunan. Crunan doing an awesome job taking care of all of these foot soldiers, taking care of the Mousers just as well. They can be tricky as well. It's just a matter of what pattern they're going to give you. So, all right, great job there by Guto to keep those guys up. The Rock Monster's not playing very nice there on Crunan's part, but that's all right. He's through them and taking care of the little robots. The robots can be tricky if they get off of the left side of the stage there, making it very hard to hit those little robot guys if you don't get them on the first shot. Mousers galore back for Crunan, and Mousers there for Guto as well. So here we go. These guys are still very close, but Crunan making a little bit of an edge there on Guto at this point. About a screen and a half ahead of Guto. All right. So here we go. These guys doing an awesome job making sure that these foot soldiers are being taken care of with no problem. Taking care of the right one, taking care of the left one, coming back for the middle one to make sure that they can get the one-shot hits on each of these turtles, or on each of the foot soldiers. Great job by both of these runners, making sure that that all of their foot soldiers are in place, managing them very well, doing the slides to make sure that they don't get hit by the freezy pops. Freezy pops take a lot of time when you get frozen. So there we go. Good job by Crunan to make sure that he didn't take any hits there. Guto taking one there by the freezy pop, but making his way through just fine. So here we go. So Guto having a little bit more of a trouble here in the later parts of the stages, whereas he had a great run going here at the first part. But still very close. We're talking 2 screens difference between these guys. So a matter of seconds for these runners. And great job there by Crunan to make sure that those rock monsters are taken care of. Take one special and then go left and right with the hits. Fantastic work there by Crunan. And there's a death there by Guto. Probably just to gain his health back here coming up for these rock monsters. You don't want to go into the rock monsters without a special. It does help. And that rock monster just going to continually shoot. And that's going to cost him here, as we're going to see Krang here for the first time for these runners. Ooh, taking just a slight hit there by those rock monsters. Oh my gosh. This run is just definitely falling apart there for Guto. But he can definitely still catch up. Play this smart, play it fair. He can still catch up there, Guto. So keep it going. As we see Krang going down, no issue there on Crunan's part as he's making his way to the elevator. Here we go, guys. So we are going to see, we're definitely seeing Guto's sound. So the sound's going to sound like there's a little bit of a delay, but there's not really a delay. Ooh, having not a good Krang fight there for Guto. So he's going to have to play a little bit of catch up to try and get this taken care of. Lucky for him, no lava balls coming for him. So here we go. So he's going to be making his way to the elevator, but it's going to be about 3 or 4 screens apart. So we're talking about a 10-second difference here for Crunan at this part. So Crunan doing a great job playing catch up, making about 20 seconds up on Guto. So these guys are still neck and neck. So anything could still happen. Shredder is not a slouch. So let's not count Shredder out. Great job there with the robots on Crunan's part, taking them out in one, and almost it looked like one single hit going back and forth. Fantastic job. As we see the set of Mousers there on Crunan's part, as Guto's taking care of the foot soldiers very well. So 2 hits on the right side and 1 on the left. So fantastic job. And here we go. All right, so robots there for Guto. Crunan taking care of the last of the foot soldiers coming out of the doorways. And then you're going to see the ones coming out from the floor. Let's see how he handles them. Very good job taking care of the foot soldiers, managing them to go down so he can take them out all in one shot. His goal is to try to get into that top door there. Not sure if it's possible, but the goal is to try to get to that door so you don't go through the screen that many times. Shredder's coming up here for Crunan. But Guto's not too far away, so it's going to take out the foot soldiers here as Crunan's going to get his first shot at Shredder. So let's see how Crunan handles his Shredder fight as we see the last bit of the foot soldiers here on Guto's side. Great start there on Crunan's part, getting the slide through where he can just kind of look out for that fire and continually attack Shredder. So if you keep him on this level, he's going to be fine. And this is going to be a really good run. 23-25. Crunan taking the early lead in this race. The 1-0 Crunan at this point. GG to Crunan. Playing catch up in that run and coming out with a sub 24. Fantastic run on Crunan's part. As we see Guto finishing up his Shredder fight, you'll see him handled with these about the same type of strat that you saw with Crunan. So it won't be long before you see both of these runners back at the beginning again. Oh, my toe. But doing so good, doing great. Ow, there's a death. All right, here we go. Doing a great job. Almost done, almost done. There we go. And with the 24-17. So the runners definitely at the end of that run, you can see where Crunan's practice has definitely caught up with him, where he's been doing a ton of it. But GG to both of the runners. Crunan taking the 1-0 lead at this point. But don't count Guto out. Anything can happen in these runs. So fantastic by both of these guys. Less than a minute difference. So let's go. All right, so these runners are going to get ready for their next race. So if Crunan were to win this next race, we start over, and we're at a winner's bracket, best 2 out of 3. If Crunan were to win this 2 out of 3, since Crunan did lose earlier in the tournament, he does have to play the loser's part of this and basically beat Guto twice in order to eliminate him. But great job by both of these. All right, so these guys are going to go ahead and get ready for the next part. I'm ready to go whenever these guys are, so let's keep it rolling as we see these guys take another race. So they'll start from the beginning, do another awesome run. Let's see how these guys improve from their last run. But fantastic start to both of these guys. And the countdown has started for these guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go, guys. And we are off on another race as we see both of these runners getting ready, picking hard for both of their options, making sure that they're on the same track. And then you're going to see these guys take off for their race. So here we go. And this is very hype, guys. So these guys are doing amazing. Here we go, guys. And the race has started for both of these runners and dead even in tracks. So we are going to see a very, very close one here again as we see Crunan taking just the slightest of the leads due to that foot soldier not acting quite right for Guto. But that's all right because we're still very early in this race. So New York City Sewers, these guys have a lot of practice in it. Obviously, first stage, you're going to see a lot of resets in first stage. So you're going to see these guys handle these foot soldiers pretty well, pretty evenly, as Crunan just taking the slight scene advantage there. So maybe about 2 or 3 seconds. So here we go. But as we saw last time, anything can happen between these two runners. So don't count anybody out yet. Don't count Guto out. He has done amazing in this tournament and currently holding one of the top 3 places now for Hyperstone Heist Hard. So both of these guys top tier runners for this. So as we see these guys moving forward, both reaching the end here on the first stage, with just the slightest lead there by Crunan. Actually, the slightest lead by Guto, but 1.5 seconds, guys. Like I said, anything can happen between these runners. One missed foot soldier is all it takes to change the lead at this point. So here we go. That red soldier there going up. Sometimes he'll do that, but what we try to do is take care of those 2 red foot soldiers in one shot. All right, great job there by both of these runners as we see these guys go back and forth. So hand in hand, these guys are just going to keep putting their dukes up, and both of them doing a fantastic job taking this run to course. But anything that these guys throw in the 23-minute range is fantastic. We're talking anything in the 23-minute range right now for Turtles is going to be a top 3 run on speedrun.com. So anything that these guys are putting together at that pace, they are moving. So running this game in 23 minutes was at one point the world record, which now has sub 23 times. Congratulations again to Crunan being the new world record holder. So these guys are running, competing for $200 cash provided by Mr. Dino and ZG himself, who put together the bounty. A lot of thanks to him to get a bunch of runners going for this game, as you see him in chat. All right, so these guys still neck and neck. So there's nobody has really taken the overall pushed lead at this point. So these guys are still neck and neck. Anything could happen. 22:54, excuse me. Yes, Crunan 22:54, current world record holder. Fantastic time. So sub 23 definitely became possible with these runners. So here we go. As we see Crunan just taking the slight scene advantage there. So maybe 5-6 seconds at this point for all of these pizza monsters. So here we go as he moves on into his final foot soldier stage before seeing Leatherhead. And as he's doing a fantastic job taking care of all of these guys, making sure that he gets the purple guy first so he doesn't get hit by the shuriken. And here is Leatherhead for both of these runners. Gutosur having a fantastic foot soldier battle there right before this started. Ooh, and taking the early hit there from Leatherhead. So let's see how he can bounce back and see if Guto can bounce back to try and catch up. Crunan taking the early advantage from him, but don't count Guto out. Guto right behind him. So very good job by both of these runners on this first stage, coming out sub 4:30. All right, so we're off to our auto scroller, guys. One of the best songs in Turtles as we hear Sewer Surfing. And boom, boom, boom. Both of these guys handling these different ways, but as long as you don't take too many shots, you are okay. Because you definitely don't want too much health loss going into a rock steady fight. That definitely could potentially cause you to die during him. So you're probably going to see Crunan. Yep. So Crunan's going to go ahead and take a death here. This is a strategic death, so he has full health going into the rest of the stage. Having full health or close to full health is definitely key for stage 2. So it's very important to have as much health as possible going into your rock steady fight. So here we go as we see these guys taking out their mousers, getting ready to go into the pirate ship and doing more foot soldier management. Here is Crunan and Guto. literally 2 or 3 seconds apart, guys. So here we go. The very hype race. Very, very close. At this point, last time we saw Guto ahead by about 10 seconds. So this is definitely a closer race by far thus far. As long as Guto can hold it throughout the entire race and not let those last couple of bosses do too much damage, he's gonna keep it. He's gonna keep this close, that's for sure. So here we go. As both handling foot soldiers very well. Crunan just slightly ahead of Guto with the foot soldiers, and there's a shuriken to the face. You can never avoid that. Such a pain. Sometimes you'll throw it, sometimes you won't. You never know what you're gonna get. You try to make sure that you don't get hit there, but sometimes you just can't help it. But still coming back, recovering nicely there by Crunan, as Guto just takes the slight lead there due to the shuriken. As long as Guto can continually take out these foot soldiers, you'll hold it just for a little bit, but don't count Crunan out, as he's doing an awesome job catching up here with great foot soldier management. Foot soldiers acting the way they needed to, coming up, taking the hits. Exactly what Crunan's expecting for these foot soldiers as he sees the path that they're taking. And here are the rock monsters. Let's see if we get anything there. Both of them handling it very well. So very good job on both parts, as these guys are literally 2 seconds away from each other. So off to the caves. So here's Rocksteady's hideout, as we see both of these runners doing an awesome job, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Take out the fireworks there. There we go. Get rid of all of those guys on the stage. You don't want to look at those foot soldiers. Nobody wants to see them on the stage. We just want to keep going. We want to see bosses. So let's go, runners. Keep it up. So here we go. Guto slightly in the lead now, I do believe. Not by a lot, but I think Guto is just now taking a slight lead over Crunan. But again, anybody's race at this point, 4 seconds apart between our runners at this point. Anything can happen just like that. So we're looking at a chance for Crunan to retake his lead here if he gets some good rock monster management here, which he has done a fantastic job at. So here we go. Guto into the foot soldiers. Foot soldiers wanting to play let's hug people, but taking care of the foot soldiers is Guto and Crunan, as you see Rocksteady come onto the stage for both of these runners. Alright, so here we go. We're going to see these guys shoulder dash. We're going to avoid Rocksteady's punches at all costs. This guy's doing an awesome job taking care of business with Rocksteady. Being right at the distance that he needs to be to avoid those punches coming from Rocksteady. Crunan taking just one slight shot there, which is going to make Rocksteady go across the stage one more time. Crunan could have done a little bit of catch-up there to be able to take him out on the left side. But great job by both of these runners. About a 5 or 6 second difference here as we see Guto approaching the machines, doing a very fantastic job there, taking out the ones on the left side of the screen. So does Crunan. And let's see how these guys manage their foot soldiers at this point to try and get to the hideout. Yes, neck and neck, says Jake. Jake, aka the co-op world record holder for Hyperstone Heist currently. But here we go as these guys make it to the fire monsters there, the fire foot soldiers, doing a great job. Jake, you're welcome to join me in commentary. My mouth could definitely use a break. But if not, that's okay too. But here we go, guys. As you see, these guys are neck and neck at this point. Crunan taking back his lead just slightly. So these guys, wow. We're talking 3 or 4 different lead changes we've seen in this race thus far. But you can't even call it. We're literally on the same site. Ooh, that that cave being creepy is definitely going to cost Guto just a little bit, as we see Crunan taking his lead, going into the hideout, and making his way down into Tatsu's hideout, waiting for him at the end of the stage. Great job there by Crunan, making sure to handle the foot soldiers that come at him. Left, right. Can't even keep track of these guys because of how fast they're going. It's really something amazing to watch here from both of these runners. As you can see, all right, so both of them handling these traps as well as they can, trying to avoid them. But Crunan handling it almost perfectly, not having any issues with any of the traps there. Guto as well, both of them handling it. And as we see both of these guys on the same scene, Crunan about to edge out a scene ahead of Guto with pretty good foot soldier management. Taking care of these guys with the two shots, a little bit safer option there for Crunan to make sure that he's hitting all of the foot soldiers instead of just one foot soldier at a time. Obviously a time saver for Crunan. Both of these guys reaching the laser portion of the level, with Crunan leaving the lasers just as Guto approaches his lasers, and those lasers have punished Guto in both of these races. He handled them pretty well, only taking one laser, but Crunan's going to have the slight advantage over Guto at this point, as we see Tatsu definitely going to take, probably not going to see a lot of loss in time on Tatsu due to the fact he's a pretty simple boss to kill. And here we go, last hit there for Crunan, as we see Guto just now reaching Tatsu. So there is definitely a little bit of a pull there on Crunan's part, the current world record holder, as he's making his way into the oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, words are hard sometimes, the gauntlet, to see the bosses for the second time. Guto falling a little bit behind now, about 10 seconds or so of a difference between these runners at this point, but please don't count these runners out, because it's only a matter of one or two shots and we can see another lead change. Crunan used the hard strat flip plus tackle. Yes, that's the it was a really good. Yeah, it's definitely a hard one to follow at this point, especially with how close these runners are. Makes it really hard for me, but that's, you know what, they're not that's what they pay me the big bucks for here. GG, right? You know, the big zero, but it's cool. I love doing it. These guys doing a fantastic job. Here goes Leatherhead, as we see Crunan playing it safe, trying to avoid getting hit by any of these bosses at all possible, with no issue at all, as we see Guto here at his Leatherhead fight, as Crunan has finished his Leatherhead fight. Oh, taking one small, a couple of shots there on Leatherhead, so we'll probably see a death here on at Rocksteady there for Guto, as he finishes up Leatherhead. So there is a little bit more of an advantage here by Crunan, making his way into his Tatsu fight, as we see Raph taking a death there on Guto's side to Rocksteady. Rocksteady just getting the best of him, but definitely want to have some health going into Baxter Stockman. So here we go. Tatsu giving a little bit of trouble there for Crunan, but you know, catching up, doing okay. He's all right. He's finished Tatsu before Guto's getting out of Rocksteady. So he's gonna see Baxter and have a lot of time that he has now So we're starting to see a little bit of an advantage here on Crunan, where he's probably going to take a death here, take the shot. So now you get your specials back, so you can take the specials and just start going back and forth with Baxter Stockman. You want to leave it at about 1 health, and then you're going to start using your special up to try and get that quick kill on Baxter. So here we go, going back and forth, doing a great job. Taking one little shot there by the Mousers, but he's okay as he takes out the rest of the Mousers. So here we go. We're going to start seeing some specials here on Crunan's part to take care of Baxter Stockman. Great job as he's leaving Baxter Stockman as Guto is at his Baxter Stockman fight. 1 health. Looks like Guto is not using the strat to take the death here, probably because he took the death earlier, but there's the death. So he's going to have full health to go ahead and go through and try to kill Baxter. So use those specials when you can to try and make some, to try and catch up a little bit to Crunan. But great job by Crunan handling the foot soldiers very well. But there we go. Baxter is dead here on Guto's side. So these guys are still pretty close together. So anything could happen in this stage. Those foot soldiers act funny. If the rock monsters decide not to go the right way, anything can happen. So don't count these guys out. Das Postman, thanks so much for stopping in. But good luck to you in your bowling practice as well. But very, very hype run, guys, by these guys. Both very close together. As we see the rock monster walking down, so he did have to take 1 extra hit, but not causing a lot of time lost there is Crunan, making sure that all of the rock monsters died. But we're 2 or 3 scenes different at this point. So we'll see rock monsters here very soon for Guto, with the foot soldiers being handled very well there on the right there with Crunan. All right, great job there by Crunan to take care of the foot soldiers that are going in all over the place. The further that these foot soldiers come on stage, the harder it is to kind of judge where they're going to end up. So it's better to try and kill them as they approach the stage, or to be able to manipulate them so they can go down where you are at. So you can kind of exaggerate it to make the foot soldier come to your level. But doing a great job is Crunan and Guto. So these guys are very close together. Freezy Pops area for Crunan first. Oh, taking 1 shot there, twice for the Freezy Pops. Don't want to take too many shots because it definitely costs a lot of time to get frozen. But great job there, by Crunan to get through that area without too much damage. We'll see our Freezy Pop area here for Guto very shortly. So let's see if Guto can make some do some catching up here, as we see the foot soldiers being taken care of very well by Crunan. So it's going to take more than just a good Freezy Pop for our friend Guto to play catch up here. And just trying to avoid those Freezy Pops at all costs. And it's so hard to do because they're just relentless. All right, so here are the rock monsters here for Crunan. Crunan doing a great job taking care of the rock monsters coming from the left side of the screen, as we see the second set of rock monsters and third set come onto the screen as we make our way to the lasers. So we'll probably see a death. Yep, so Crunan's going to take a death here and get himself full health going into our Krang fight, which is going to it's just totally okay because we're going into the elevator. So we definitely want a little bit of health just in case we have any type of downfall going into the elevator, as we will see our hopefully quick Krang fight here. 6 shots going to the left, going to the right, and going back to the left for Krang. So here we go, Crunan. 5, 6 to the left, to the right, and back to the left, and all done there for Krang. Great fight on Crunan's part. GG there on Crunan. Let's see if Guto can keep pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run to the left. Doing good. Got to get back there. Got to get there faster. There you go. Got lucky there, but he still was able to handle his Krang fight just fine, and ending up in the middle of the screen, which is really good for Guto. Makes it a little less walking going into the elevator, so maybe doing a little bit of catch up here. But we will see the first of the foot soldiers coming out of the elevator for Crunan, going right to left to handle the foot soldiers, doing a great job of making sure that they die. There we go. Great job. Gilman style. Yeah, he's done very well of learning the good routes and everything of that nature on this run. So, fantastic job by both of these runners. Oh, wonderful job with the robots. Beautiful, beautiful work there on Crunan's part. As we will see the robots there on Guto's side with the Mousers on the right. So let's see how these runners handle. Oh, taking one little shot. That's going to kill him. That is definitely not planned there on Guto's part. But handling the second set just fine, as we see the Mousers have passed for Crunan, making his way to the next set of foot soldiers coming out of the elevator, followed by the foot soldiers coming up from the ground. Great job handling him there on both parts, both Guto and Crunan. And as we see, a little bit of trouble there on Crunan's side, taking the foot soldiers not out with the 2 shots, but still be able to manage to make it to the door that he wants to make it to. So great job. As we will see Crunan facing off against Shredder for the second time first. So looks like we're probably going to see yet 2 more races here for these runners. So it's going to be we're probably going to see Crunan winning this one out, which will be the first set, 2 out of 3. And then after this, seeing 2 more races, at least 2 more races between these two. So here we go. Crunan doing a great job handling Shredder, keeping him in line, getting the right spacing that he needs for Shredder to be able to handle him. And as long as he doesn't throw that green ball, he's in good shape. 23-17. Incredible run there by Crunan. Great job. And here's Shredder there for Guto. Let's see if Guto can get himself a sub-24 here. Come on, Guto. Let's see sub-24 happen. All right, he's got him. He's got him. There we go. Oh, that's going to be Shredder hell right there. There we go. He's Shredder stopping short. So he's doing a good job of making sure he's taking the hits. And, like one more shot. Oh, just one more. Oh, so close to the sub-24. A great run on Guto as well. But there we go. Congratulations to Crunan coming back from the loser's bracket, taking the early lead. So now we are in sudden death. Best 2 out of 3. The next person to take the next 2 wins is going to win our $200 grand prize for the Hyperstone Heist tourney. GG to Crunan and GG to Guto for both having fantastic runs through this. So here we go, guys. Great job on both of these runners. All right, so we are setting up for our next best of 3 between these runners. As we talk, I'm going to go ahead and take a small break, get me a quick drink, and I'll be right back, guys. So just give me about 30 seconds, and I'll be ready to go. And but great job to both of these runners so far. I'll be right back, guys. And we are back, guys. Welcome back to our second set of races for the Hyperstone Heist tourney. Crunan taking the first lead, or the first two races 2-0, causing another set of races to happen here for these runners. So we're going to start fresh. Both of the runners are going to be doing a best 2 out of 3 Hyperstone Heist race again. So for those of you that are just joining, welcome into GG Speedruns. I am the Space Coast Gamer. And your runners today are the current world record holder, Crunan, going up against Gutosur, who is top 3 as well. Both fantastic runners in these games. As we've seen thus far, Crunan having a much better end game than Guto at the moment, but we are very close in all of these races. Matter of seconds between these racers, so it's only going to take a little bit for these runners to be in a it could go either way for either of these runners. So, but great job on both parts of these runners to keep it going as we see the countdown happening. And here we go, guys, as these guys are going to select their turtle, and we are off into the streets of New York, as always, guys. So welcome in. Thanks again to ZG and Mr. Dino for putting this awesome tournament on. So fantastic. It's been a fantastic tournament for these guys as we're finishing up the last bit of this. The winner of the best of 2 out of 3 not only gets $200, but does get an opportunity to face off against Turbo Gilman in a best 3 out of 5 tournament, racing tournament style. Same basic setup here on GG Speedruns. So, good luck to both of these runners as they continue on, moving through the sewers here, as we see Crunan taking just the slightest bit of a lead here right at the beginning. No, today will not be the Gilman battle. Sunday will be the Gilman battle. And that is going to be hype as well for whoever gets to face off against him. And as we see Crunan handling the robots in a little bit better fashion than what we saw Guto handle them, definitely going to see a little bit of fatigue on both of these runners at this point as they've run the game twice through already. But I know there's a lot of motivation for these guys to do very well in this tournament. So here we go, as Crunan edging out about a scene ahead of Guto at this point, making his way to the streets of New York as Guto just finishing up. So, yep, about a scene difference. So we're talking about 6 or 7 seconds that we're seeing Crunan taking the early advantaged lead over Gutosur at this point. But both runners still doing very well, managing foot soldiers as well as they possibly can. And here we go, guys, as we get to the armored truck. One-shot kill there on Crunan's part. Fantastic job timing that very well for himself. He's going to miss one of these foot soldiers or 2 of these foot soldiers because of the jump there at the beginning. But still making it through, handling it very well, continually making sure he gets all of them. Guto giving himself a shot to play a little bit of catch-up here. As he handles the little jump there is going to cost him though, but that's okay. So we're at the same scene for both of these guys, so Guto has made a little bit of a catch up here, so great job on both of these runners. Guto forgetting about the last set of foot soldiers there, but handling them very well. So here we go, as we see both of these runners neck and neck, taking foot soldiers out left and right, and making sure that all of these guys are dead on the ground. And here we go, Crunan just slightly ahead of Guto, maybe 3 or 4 seconds at this point, guys. So Guto's doing a fantastic job playing catch up. So here we go, handling the foot soldiers very well. Guto obviously knowing this stage very well, making sure to kill all of the monsters where they are lying. Here we go. First set of pizza monsters down for Crunan, followed by first set of pizza monsters down by Guto. And here we go. It is literally going to be neck and neck here coming into the last set of pizza monsters there for these runners. And here are the last set of foot soldiers for the level, followed by our favorite gator, Leatherhead. And for those of you that were looking for the runners, their pages are right there in chat. That's twitch.tv /Crunan_ and twitch.tv/Gutosur17. And here we go. 1 health difference between both of these runners. Great job handling these monsters or handling the monster on both of their parts. Both dying very almost 2 or 3 seconds apart from each other. So fantastic job on both of these guys' part. A little bit past 4:30 going into this. So as you can see, the fatigue starting to set in on both of these runners. Definitely wasn't as clean as their first or second run, but still doing a fantastic job to stay within 5 or 6 seconds of the times that they're putting up. So great job on both of their parts. As we move through sewer surfing level, making our way to the pirate ship, we see the 2 different styles of play there for both of the runners. As one stays back, taking more of the points out, and Crunan staying a little bit ahead of the screen or trying to stay to the right of the screen to avoid as many hits as possible. So great job on both of these guys' part to avoid taking any type of damage and continuing on. Still just about 3 or 4 seconds apart from each other, so not bad on this part at all. So these guys are still neck and neck, and I expect that going throughout the rest of this tournament as well. On to the mystery pirate ship, as we see Crunan taking just a slight bit of the slightest lead over Guto as he moves the stage a little bit faster than Guto does, handling his foot soldiers just a little bit cleaner than Guto did on his part. But Guto doing a great job taking care of the left to right there as he moves the stage on. But again, we're approaching about a scene difference between these runners, as Crunan is moving just ever so slightly faster than Guto at this point, making sure to take out all of these guys as quickly as possible. Great job there on Crunan's part, taking out all of the guys, avoiding the taped floor there, not taking the damage there on the trap. But Guto as well, handling these guys very well, as we see Guto making just the slightest bit of catch up there. So these guys are just neck and neck, as we see Guto just taking the lead there from Crunan at this point. So great job by Crunan by Guto to play a little bit of catch up, as we see the barrels fall first there for Guto, and then the barrels fall second for Crunan. As Guto's handling his foot soldiers very well during this portion, avoiding the shot there by the rock monster to make sure that he didn't take it. And off we go into the cave, as we have a rock monster that decided to walk just a step down right out of the range of Wrath, as he misses his opportunity there. But great job on the part of Gutosur to keep moving the stage along. Here we go, as we see the rock monsters for these for this part of the stage. We'll see them here once again coming up very shortly. rock monsters there for Crunan. So we're talking a scene difference between the two runners, 3 or 4 seconds between the couple of runners, since there's not a lot of foot soldiers coming on the stage at this point. But having a little bit of trouble there is Crunan, as the foot soldiers are just kind of holding him back as they're moving the stage forward. But now we're talking about 2 scenes difference between our runners. So here we go. Great job there by Gutosur to take the early advantage here. Try and build a bit of a lead here, because we've seen Guto kind of struggle in our last stages. So the further that we can see Guto get ahead, the better off he's going to be on the later part of these stages. So here we go. Great job on Guto's part to get to Rocksteady first. Let's see if he can take advantage of that with this fight here. But Crunan's going to have to play a lot of catch up here to try and catch him. So we're both at Rocksteady. So there is a chance that we can see Crunan with a great Rocksteady fight do a little bit of catch up on his part. But it looks like Guto taking the early lead here on Rocksteady, having a fantastic Rocksteady fight, as we see Crunan having a little bit of struggle with Rocksteady as he's kicking. When he just goes to that kick, it is tough to get out of. But great job handling his Rocksteady, getting out of the stage, everybody off to Shredder's hideout. Guto handling the first part of the stage very well, with not even seeing the machines take the stage there on the left-hand side. Good job, Guto. Good job, Crunan. Here we go. 3 scenes apart. About a 10-second difference between our runners at this point. Barring any mess-ups at this point. Great job on both of these runners' parts to keep these the robots in hand. You don't want them coming on the screen and moving around like you did there on the left side. So here we go. Handle the purple guys, get them out of the way. Let's move the stage and go. Approaching the sidewalk area for Guto, missing the sidewalk though, so that's going to cost him a little bit, but he's able to make up for it, taking out the foot soldiers left and right, and making sure that they die as quick as they possibly can. Great job there by Guto, taking out the 2 red guys with the sidewalk. As we see Crunan catching up again, and here we go. We're going to start seeing this back and forth between these runners again. Like saying, it looks like Crunan's end game is a lot cleaner than Guto's, but don't count either of these runners out. So here we go, both on the same page, or on the last screen. Guto is still slightly ahead of Crunan, handling these foot soldiers very well is Crunan though, so he's starting to play a little bit of catch up here. So here we go. Guto's definitely going to have to pick up his pace just a little bit if he's wanting to keep the lead that he has. So here we go, approaching the bamboo shoots, making sure not to get hit by those. He's going to continue to push right. And there's our first bamboo shot. That's going to cost him a little bit, because that yellow guy's just literally going to stand right there in the spikes. So it's going to hurt. It's going to be hard to get them out of there, and he's literally just going to have to struggle through. Doing a good job right there, as we see Crunan making his way back into the race. So we are neck and neck again, 2 seconds apart, guys. As we see Guto struggling a little bit with some of these foot soldiers, as Crunan takes the slight lead over Guto. Great job by Crunan to make up his time and moving the stage a little bit forward, a little faster than Guto. Guto, on the other hand, wanting to say that he's not going to be counted out of this race, taking his lead back. So here we go, guys. These guys are neck and neck going into the Tatsu fight. So let's see how the lasers handle for both of these runners. So he's going to go back and forth. He's got to be careful not taking any hits. He doesn't want to die here. Does not want to take the hit. Oh, that is definitely going to cost Guto there, as we see Crunan coming back, taking his lead back. So here we go. So very, very good stage by Crunan thus far. Having a little bit of a struggle there is Guto, but both of them are at the end of this stage, So anything can happen as we see Tatsu for the first time in this set of runs for Crunan, but right behind him. Do not count him out. Guto is right behind him, guys. So there we go. Yes, so Crunan handling the laser section of that level very well, as we see Crunan handling our Tatsu fight. Tatsu obviously being one of the easiest bosses in this fight. As we see Crunan, I think Guto is definitely tiring here, because we're starting to see a little bit of too much hits there on the Tatsu stage, which is definitely going to cost him coming into the later part of this round. Fatigue is definitely taking a factor. You can see it with both of the runners, but Crunan, noticing that the fatigue was happening, definitely played some good catch up there on that stage. So here we go, gauntlet area. Both of these runners neck and neck. So anything can happen at this point. It only takes one hit to change the dynamic of this race. So one bad Pizza Monster, one bad hit by Leatherhead, one bad hit by Rocksteady, and it's anybody's game. So here we go, guys. These guys just waiting for the last bit of these Pizza Monsters to come through. Crunan's about one scene ahead of Guto at this point, as we see Leatherhead approach on the right side of our screen for Crunan. So not a bad lead there on Crunan's part, as he's starting to make up a little bit of pace, as we see him go back and forth on Leatherhead. But again, anything can happen, and Crunan handling his boss fight very well, as we see Guto take a couple of shots there on from Leatherhead. So that's definitely going to cost him. Probably going to put him at about a 15 to 16 second difference between Crunan and Gutosur at this point, because as we see Rocksteady doing his thing there on the right side, Crunan handling the Rocksteady fight pretty well. There's a hit, so anything can happen now. So if we don't see any hits there on Guto's side, we could see Guto make his way back into this race with no trouble. But Crunan handling Rocksteady, getting to the right side of the stage, making sure he's ready for Tatsu, going into the Tatsu fight. Back and forth with Tatsu, get that the spin into the dash, and then take him out with the 3-shot. Fantastic job on Tatsu there for Crunan. And taking a hit there is Guto. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Might have been on purpose to make sure that he had full health going into his Baxter fight. So might not have been a terrible move on Gutosur's part to make sure that he made it into this stage. So we'll see Crunan probably take a death here due to the fact that he's at low health. He definitely wants to use a special coming into this stage if he can. Well, no, we're not. We're not going to see him take the death. He's going to go ahead and continue to go and try and kill him off, and does a fantastic job doing so. Great Baxter Stockman fight by Crunan. So there we go. Off to the Technodrome is Crunan, as we see Guto handling Baxter very, very well, going back and forth, not getting hit by any of those mousers coming out of the bottom of Stockman's little ship here. Here we go, Technodrome here for Crunan, as he's moving his way through the stage, managing to take care of all of these foot soldiers as needed. Gutosur finishing off his Baxter Stockman fight. He's in the middle of the stage. A great job to be right there, ready for the next part. So gauntlet clear for both of these guys. Probably 20 or 25 seconds, 20 or 25 second difference between these runners at this point. So very good job by Crunan handling his last stage, not taking a death there on the Baxter Stockman's team to definitely speed up his run there. So did a great job going back and forth with Baxter. So great boss fight. A great spot fight is definitely gonna make it so Crunan's going to have a slight advantage on Guto here at this point. Just let these Mousers just behave. They just got to behave at this point. So there we go. And off we go into the next little area for Crunan as we make our way to the next set of foot soldiers, as we're starting to see a little bit of an advantage here on Crunan's part. So I would say about 20 to 25 seconds between our runners at this point, due to just the difficulty of where the foot soldiers are at this point. So great job on Crunan's part to take that little bit of a slight lead and start building on it. But let's not count anybody out at this point because it's just a matter of a couple hits and we're still back in it. But great job on Crunan's part, getting through the freezy pops as good as he can, making sure he takes the slides there, making sure he doesn't get frozen. Great job there by Crunan, making sure he's through that part. No real technical issues, except for a couple of foot soldiers that decided not to come to the right side of the stage. But continuing on, fantastic job by both of our runners here. Guto handling foot soldiers decently, having a little bit of trouble, but not terrible. But here we go, freezy pops on Guto's part as we see the rolling balls coming down for Crunan. So second set of traps there for Crunan. We'll see the second set of rolling balls. Oh, we actually made it through those, sorry. And here we go, Crunan making his way through the rock monsters, missing the rock monster on the left side. But not an issue for Crunan here as he got them all together, handling them in 3 shots and off to the lasers. So lasers, here we go. And ooh, there's a death on Guto's side. Had a little bit of trouble there on the foot soldiers, but that's okay. And we're probably going to see a death. There it is. Crunan taking a death there to the lasers, getting himself full health, getting himself ready for not only Krang, but the elevator and Shredder fights. So here we go. Hopefully another quick kill here for Crunan, as we see Guto just coming right along here, just going to try and keep up pace as best as he can, going into the laser section, hopefully having a good laser fight and getting into Krang. Oh, taking a hit as we see Krang, the perfect Krang kill for yet the 3rd time there for Crunan. So here we go, off to the elevator action there for Crunan as we see Guto reaching Krang. 2055, fantastic time there on Crunan's part. So here we go, handling. Oh my goodness, I think we lost count. I think Guto lost count there on Krang. So it's going to be a little interesting to see what Krang does, because now he's going to go back. He's going to do his little backing thing, and now he's going to. Oh, that is a rough Krang on Guto's part, just not letting him get any hits in. But here we go. He's finished his stage, so now he's going to be on to the elevator, but he's got to play some catch up here. So that was definitely a little bit of a loss there on Guto's part. But here we go, guys, as we see Crunan making his way down into the elevator for his Mouser fight here, as elevator's moving down for Guto to fight his first set of foot soldiers. All right, handling the foot soldiers well is Guto. Gonna stand there. Oh, that is not good on Guto's part. Not being able to take out both of those foot soldiers in the same area, definitely gonna cost you some time. But as we see Crunan struggling a little bit as well, but so far ahead at this point, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue at this point for Crunan to go ahead and take the first race in this with a GG. So here we go. The elevator is done for Crunan as we see more monsters coming out for Guto here in just a second. Shredder on the right side for Crunan. Mouser time for Guto. Great job. A little bit of auto-scrolling, but the faster you kill these enemies, the faster you're going to get on to the next part of the auto-scroll. But here we go, as Crunan is going to show us what he can do against Shredder yet again. Getting the right spacing that he needs to make sure that he can roll straight into Shredder, and doing a great job of it. As long as he doesn't throw that green ball. That green ball is very hard to come out of getting a hit from him. 23-25, GG on Crunan. That is 3 sub-24s for Crunan. Great job on the race there for him. So the first of 3 goes to Crunan. So Crunan just needs to win one more, and Crunan will be our Hyperstone Heist Tournament champion, winning himself $200 and the opportunity at facing Turbo Gilman. So Turbo Gilman, if you are out there, make sure you watching these runners. These guys are doing fantastic jobs. As we see, Guto handling his Shredder fight very well, making sure he has the correct spacing that he needs. So great job on Guto to make sure that he's finishing this out as strong as he possibly can. Oh, and now we're in Shredder Hell. Shredder Hell is rough, and he gets right there with you. There's nothing you can do but try to get him to take a hit and try and get out of it. 24-30 by Guto. So we had about a minute difference between the run that time, but GG to Crunan and GG to Guto for a fantastic race from both of these guys. So we'll get to see at least one more from both of these guys, and they will be they'll be ready to start here very shortly. So maybe after a quick second, they'll probably be ready to go, getting their next race ready to start. So if you guys are not following either Crunan or Guto, make sure you follow their pages at twitch.tv/Crunan_ and twitch.tv/Gutosur17. So, like ZG was saying, so Crunan was coming out of the loser bracket. Is Crunan a double underscore? Okay, I did not know that. Make sure you get double underscore in there for Crunan. Or if you need to know, just type in like GG Speedruns did, !runner. I'll give you the who the runners are for this event. All right, so these guys are ready to go for possibly our last race, but we will see. Countdown is taking place as we speak. Runners are on the character select screen, ready to go. And as we see these guys take off, will this be the last run? Or will Guto manage to make his way back into this race? Let's see what happens, guys. Good luck to our runners at this point. Fantastic runs by both of these runners, sub-25 throughout the entire race, which is great times on both of their parts. And here we go, guys, as we see Crunan and Guto taking their way, or making their way through the sewer, doing their thing, knowing how to handle all of these guys with wrath. Great job by Crunan and Guto taking care of their foot soldiers. Crunan doing a great job trying to make sure that he's not showing that fatigue that we saw a little bit of in the first stage there for him. But making great time are both of these runners. As we see, the stage moves just a little bit faster for Crunan, but having a little bit of trouble there with the mousers. Both of them are. So one squirrely mouser on both parts. And here we go. There we go. Great job by Crunan taking that guy out with a quick 2-shot kill. And we do see Guto taking the slight advantage here right at the beginning. But this, the way that this has run out thus far, looks like Guto has had the early advantage on Crunan in the early game, but Crunan definitely showing his work and why he is the world record holder currently coming into this. These runners aren't even a second apart. Actually, it might look like it on the stage, but if you look at the timer, these runners are literally a second apart. So don't let that little bit of a delay there on Crunan's part fool you. He's definitely still right there with Guto at this point. So there we go. Taking out both of the foot soldiers that were together there. Gonna grab that sewer pipe thing, whatever that thing's called. Sorry, English is hard right now. But so here we go. Both of these runners doing a great job. We do see a slight lead by Guto now. Reaching the pizza power before Crunan, so maybe 2 or 3 seconds at this point, which is absolutely nothing for this race. So when you're talking a 20 to 25 minute race, 2 or 3 seconds does not count anyone out of this race. So here we go, as we see Guto reaching the sewer first, and Crunan making his way down right after Guto at this point. Not too far of a difference. Here we go, as they go back and forth, taking out all the foot soldiers, taking the last bit of foot soldiers out with the 2 shots, making sure that they reach all 3 of the foot soldiers on the stage. Great job there on both of their parts. And Crunan missing a foot soldier there. I know he was looking for the quick shot. Needed to be a little bit lower to make sure he got that quick hit. As we see Guto making his way through the pizza monsters, second set of pizza monsters, as we see Crunan on his first set. So here we go, guys. Great job, runners. Let's go. And here we are, last set of foot soldiers there for Guto, as we see Crunan handling his last couple of pizza monsters, making his way to his last set of foot soldiers as well. And boom, and boom, and boom. Good job, guys. Leatherhead showing up here on our left side of the screen first this time, as we see Guto trying to handle Leatherhead as well as he possibly can. So going to go back and forth, left, right, left, right. There we go. And then he's going to do the same on the left side, going to try and get rid of some of his health and make it so it's not so much of a weight going into the last part of the stage. Great job by Guto to go ahead and finish Leatherhead before Crunan, but just right behind him, not too far behind, there is Crunan as he finishes his fight. Very little health, which is really good going into the next stage. There we go. Great job, guys. Pushing on through the auto-scroller. Doesn't matter what you kill here or what you don't. So these guys are just going to try to avoid taking any damage at this point. So you'll see him go up and down. For Guto, Crunan likes to stay up at that top right of the screen there, taking any foot soldiers out that he can, but mostly just avoiding any type of shots that are that aren't necessary. So Guto definitely playing it back, playing it a little safer than Crunan, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We're going to see a death here on Crunan's part. Crunan's going to take that auto death because he wants to have full health going into the next part of the second stage. As we see Guto approaching the mousers in the air, going to jump kick them. You can do whatever you want to try and kind of kill them off, but doing a good job. Making sure he doesn't take any hits, and we are off to the mysterious ghost ship. We are 2 or 3 seconds apart from each of these guys, but great runs or great starts by both of these runners to make sure that foot soldiers are going down fast. So Guto knowing exactly where these foot soldiers are going to be at this point. So going to go left to right, making sure he gets the one-shot kills, because that's what you're looking for at this point. Having a little bit of trouble with the 3 at the bottom. but handling it, making sure he made up his time there was Guto, and these guys are neck and neck. We see Crunan starting to make his way back. So both of these runners at the same point of the stage at this point. Let's see what happens in the next coming scenes to see if Crunan takes his lead or not. This is about where we usually see a little bit of a difference between these runners. We've seen Crunan. Ooh, that's going to cost him a little bit of a hit there on the tape floor. So it's not good, but is able to make up for the hit. So let's try and get back into it. Crunan gonna try and remanage himself to make sure he doesn't take too many more shots. Ooh, and there we go. As we see Guto making his way to the first set of or the second set of barrels, as Crunan has made his way to his first. So Guto getting a little bit of a lead here on Crunan at this point. Doing a great job of making sure that these foot soldiers or the rock monsters come to one place. He can take them all out in 3 separate shots. So here we go, and having a little bit of bad luck with the yellow guy jumping up into the air, but still able to manage. So these guys still maybe about a scene apart. So not too much of a difference on the runners' parts. But doing a great job is Guto, making sure that all of the foot soldiers are taken care of as they approach the scene. All right, 3 hits there. Get rid of those rock monsters as fast as possible. Great job on Guto's part. There's going to be a little bit of health coming up here. You'll probably see him take the health. Crunan taking a death there on the rock monster. This is Guto's perfect opportunity to play a little bit of put a little bit of a gap in with our runners. So there we go. 3 shots, and moving on is Guto into the last set of his rock monsters. Crunan having a little bit of trouble in this area today, or on this run. So this is Guto's perfect opportunity to try and get a little bit of space in on Crunan. So here we go. Crunan doing a little bit of catch up there, doing a great job making sure that those rock monsters die. As we see Rocksteady getting taken care of there on the left side of our screen. Ooh, I know he meant to run or dash into that right or that left side. So I know he missed a couple of shots there, but still doing a good job making sure that his Rocksteady dies. So great job. Use that health up. There we go, as we see Rocksteady dead on the left side of our screen as the fight starts on the right side of our screen for Crunan. Great job, guys, with these fights, as we see Crunan doing his usual magic against Rocksteady. Oh, gonna take a shot, but doing very good to take out his Rocksteady as quick as he did. So here we go. Taking out all of the robots there and moving straight forward onto the next portion is Guto taking care of his foot soldiers. Great job going back and forth, avoiding the hug there. So good job on his part to miss that hug, but getting a little bit of bad luck there, but that's okay. So here we are, second set of robots there on Guto's part, as we see the first set of robots there on Crunan. So we'll see still the slightest lead there on Guto's part. So here we go. Second set of robots there, handled very well on Crunan's part. So going to take out all of the foot soldiers and move on into the sidewalk. So here we go, as we see left to right on Guto's part, still holding that lead very well, handling the 2 red ones in the middle with the sidewalk that comes at him. So great job on his part. So here we go, last part of the stage here for our friend Guto, as he's handling the Mousers, and you'll see the 3 on the left and then the 3 on the right. And there we go, end of the stage there for Guto as he makes his way into the hideout. So how will the Mousers handle for Crunan? Not bad, as he's seeing the 3 on the left and then the 3 on the right and moving on. Crunan making his way back into this race again. Never count Crunan out as he's handling all of his foot soldiers very well, managing them quickly, handling them very safely to make sure that he hits all of the foot soldiers. Instead of going in with the one-shot kill, doing the two-shot kills to make sure that he guarantees himself the hits. So great job on his part. Continuing on, as we see Guto approaching the doors, making his way through the bamboo shoots, no problem, and on to the last section part of the stage. So we've got just a couple more scenes as we see Crunan trying to make his way to the Batatsu fight before his friend Crunan makes it there. But great job on both of these runners' parts, handling foot soldiers well, not taking too many hits. Crunan having a little bit more trouble than Guto in these last part of these stages. But again, we're still very close. Anything can happen at this point. Lasers are a pain. So if we see a bad laser section here for Guto, we could see Crunan catch up. But Guto handling the lasers very well, moving on and moving into the next stage. So last part of the stage here for Guto as he's taking out the last couple of the foot soldiers and moving into the Tatsu room about 15 seconds ahead of Crunan as Crunan takes his second death on the hideout area. So definitely not the run that Crunan is expecting to try and win this thing. But Guto having a fantastic start to his Tatsu fight, finishing him off before Crunan makes it into the Tatsu stage. Great job by Guto to keep his lead going. Got to keep it going into the next stage. So let's root these guys on. Great job, Guto, to make sure that he's staying in this race. He does not want to be counted out yet. So let's go. He says, I don't want to see just one more race. I want to see two. So let's go. Gonna make Crunan work for his money. That's for sure. So let's go, guys. All right, as we make our way through the pizza monsters there for Guto, Crunan is finishing up his Shredder Hideout stage, moving into the Gauntlet stage, as we're going to see Guto about 2 or 3 pizza monsters scenes ahead of him. So really good job there on Guto's part to make sure that he doesn't take any hits going into his Leatherhead fight. There we go. So last couple of pizza monsters there on Guto's part before we see Leatherhead. Leatherhead coming back with his nice purple tan. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 down and back up. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and down. There we go. Great pattern there by Guto to make sure he doesn't get hit, as well as making sure that he dies as fast as he possibly can. So Leatherhead is gone. Rocksteady fight here for Guto, as we see there's a boss difference between these runners. So let's see if he can continue to keep the boss lead on Rocksteady and have a good Rocksteady fight. So far, so good for Guto, as he gets a pretty good pattern with Rocksteady as he throws the grenades there, so it always gives you the chance to get the extra hits. And as Rocksteady is done here on the left side of our screen, Rocksteady getting his butt handed to him by Crunan there on our right side of the screen. All right, Tatsu, here we go. Hoping those foot soldiers don't act out of line. So just keep it going, and there's our first hug. But it doesn't look like it cost him a lot of time, as we see Tatsu die as Rocksteady dies. So we're going to see Baxter here on the left side of our screen first. Definitely going to need a really strong Baxter fight to keep Crunan at bay at this point. So here we go, as we see Guto handling Baxter very well, trying to get those specials in as he can, without taking too many shots from Baxter Stockman. So he's going to go back and forth with that jump kick as much as he possibly can. All right, so we're going to see Baxter and Baxter on the screen as Guto handling the fight very well, but it's also being a very long fight, as it seems to take a little bit longer to kill Stockman than it does for any of the other bosses due to the way you have to kill him. So here we go. Guto doing a great job making sure that Baxter Stockman is dead. So good job on his part. Definitely wanted to try to be in the middle of the stage, but that's okay. As long as he keeps his lead, that's okay. And Crunan taking a death, so he's taking the death. He's going to use all of his specials here to try and get his health down, but he's got to manage those mousers. There we go. Great job getting rid of the mousers, so he's going to continually use those specials to get rid of Stockman. As we see Guto in the Technodrome handling the foot soldiers very well. On to his second or third scene here. So, Guto's definitely going to have to speed things up here. He's been struggling in this stage and struggling on his Krang fight thus far in the runs. But, excuse me, he's doing a great job managing foot soldiers, so let's see if he can keep it up throughout the whole stage. Alright, so Mouser's played in line, and he was right in place for the rock monsters coming through and ready for all of his robots on stage. Great job there by Guto. So far, so good on Guto's part. So far, so good on Crunan's part as well. So it's only a matter of time to see what's going to happen in this race, guys. I think it's going to come down to if Guto can handle Krang in the quick kill. If Guto gets a good kill on Krang, we might see Guto taking his first win of this tournament bracket. So in the grand finals. So keep these guys going. Let's root your favorite runner on as these guys make their way through. Doing a good job taking care of the middle foot soldier there. Guto is doing the one-shot kill. Oh, very nice double kill there for Guto as well. So doing a great job. Off to Freezy Pops. And going to try to avoid as many Freezies as possible. In a little bit of a pickle there. Yeah, I thought that we were probably going to see a couple of freezes there because of where his positioning was at. He's definitely going to want him to come forward. So there we go. He's got him to do what he wanted him to do. So he's just going to move forward, trying not to take a death here. A death definitely costs a lot of time at this point. As we see Crunan making his way back. All it's going to take is for Crunan to do a very good job on this part of the stage. And we can see Crunan take his lead back. So here we go. Just one more foot soldier, and moving forward is Crunan. As we see the second set of balls, he's taken his death there. So let's see if that costs him anything. Doesn't look like it's going to cost him too much. Again, I think it's going to come down to a bad Krang. If there's a bad Krang on either one of these users, we're probably going to see the other one win. So that's what it's going to come down to. Rock soldiers falling to their deaths just fine as we make our way to the lasers. As we'll see the white foot soldiers just stand right there in the laser, just egging our opponents on. So here we go. Doing a great job staying right in between, making sure he doesn't take a hit. And here we go, Krang. So here's our game changer. What's going to happen here? So if we can see a good Krang fight on Guto's part, we might be able to see our first victory. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run to the left. Oh no! And there it is. So that did not work out for Guto. So, but Crunan having a little bit of difficulty there with the last foot soldier. So Guto was able to get through Krang first. And now we'll see if Crunan can make a little bit of time up here by getting the perfect Krang fight. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Run to the left and run to the right. And one more time to the left. There we go. Great job making sure that he finishes his fight. As we see Guto moving down the elevator, taking out the first set of foot soldiers just fine. So here we go. Gonna be a very close fight on this part, but a very good recovery on Crunan's part. So let's see how he plays his elevator, and if he can make sure they kill these guys as fast as possible. It's still any man's game. Get a bad robot, get a bad Mouser that just doesn't want to die. This could still go in Crunan's favor, but it's looking like we might see. Ooh, there's a death there on Guto's part against the robot, so he's gonna have to get back. Excuse me. So there we go. So Crunan's gonna be reaching the robots now as Guto's making his way to the Mousers. So Crunan definitely still in this at this point of the match. So let's see what this comes down to, because this is gonna be a nail biter, guys. Definitely not the best run for either of these opponents. So we'll see if he can keep it up and try and catch up just a little bit at this point. So here's Mousers on the right, last set of foot soldiers there on the left, as we'll see them coming out of the ground right after this. This is going to be incredibly close for both of these runners. Ooh, not having a really good start there is Guto on these foot soldiers. He's definitely wanting to take out at least one of those foot soldiers on the right side before going to the left. But it looks like okay. All right, so we're literally gonna see Shredder for the first time on the left side. So here we go. Guto has his shot. If he has a great Shredder fight, he can take his first victory in this. So here we go. As we see, Crunan is still in the elevator. So Crunan is going to be approaching Shredder now. So anybody's match, but anything can happen. Bad RNG for Shredder. Throw a whole bunch of green balls, and all of a sudden you're talking about it could be anybody's matchup. So let's see what happens, as Guto's handling the fight pretty well thus far. Hopefully not in... Oh no, he's gonna be stuck right there. Crunan's got his shot at this, guys. So let's see what the time comes down to. But it's looking like... Ooh, there's a death on Guto. Oh my goodness, here we go. So here we go. Oh, he's still in it. Oh no! What's gonna happen? Oh my god! Guto taking the victory by 0.4 seconds! Holy cow! Wow! What a race between these guys. GG on both of the guys' part. Sub 24 again on this part, but GG to our runner Gutosur, taking the victory on that part by 0.4 seconds. A half a second between runners that round. What an amazing race between these runners. So there we go. So we're going to see one more race between these guys. Guto winning by a half a second. Fantastic job on Guto trying to recover. Having a little bit of trouble on his Shredder, but able to recover enough to be able to finish off his race. So good job on both of these guys. That was incredible. What a race. Wow. 1-1, guys. That was 1-1. So here we go. We're going to see the sudden death for these guys for the last and final race. So here we go. So we'll see these guys get a little bit of a break, and then we'll get back to it. So at that point too, I need a drink after that. Holy cow, I am sweating and crazy. Holy cow, I really thought that Crunan was going to get that. Holy mother of God. That was an incredible race. Great job by both of these runners. All right, so as you guys can see, this is anybody's game. Anything can happen. Just a little bit of bad luck, and you can see one person So anything can happen between these guys. All right, so these guys are getting their selves ready for this last race. So I see that one of our racers is ready. Waiting for confirmation on our next racer. All right, we had just gotten confirmation. We're ready to start. This is what you would expect from a grand final. 1-1 going into grand finals, ready to get the next race on. So here we go. These guys are getting all set up. Countdown is live. And here we go. Starting off from 10. And we see Crunan ready to go. And Guto ready to go. There we go. And here, as they pick their turtles. Wow. What an incredible race thus far between these runners. So here we go, guys. As we see our runners pick our turtles, Raphael, and off into the sewers of New York. So let's see what happens here. These guys have been exchanging leads here right at the beginning throughout the most part. Guto was able to hold his lead throughout the most part of the last race. But I bet you see Crunan come back with vengeance at this point. So here we go. So as we see Crunan doing his magic here with all of these guys, taking just the slightest of leads. Just the slightest. So here we go. Guto knowing what there is at stake at this point. So here we go. And going to see the robots there on the right side first. Handling them pretty well as the one goes back to the right for him to be able to recover without missing a beat. So there's one little straggler there for Gutosur. But moving on, making the stage move very shortly. Very well done there by Guto. As we see Crunan at the end of the stage here for... so Crunan taking our early lead for this round of our Hyperstone heist. Out of the sewers goes Crunan, as we'll see Guto there very shortly as well. There we go. So maybe a 5 or 6 second head start there on Crunan's part, but not bad. Not a bad start by either of our runners at this point. So Crunan having a little bit of a jump there. Jump's obviously going to cost a little bit of time. There's no damage in the jumps. So you're definitely not wanting to take an attack when you're in the air. But handling well after landing on the ground, making sure that you got rid of the enemies as fast as possible. All right, so our runners are neck and neck at this point as we see them both approach the little truck, followed by the power-up. And both of them doing a fantastic job with the power-up to make sure that all of the foot soldiers died in the windows. Get rid of those guys on the sewer pipe, and it looks like Guto has taken a lead as he's taken out all of these foot soldiers. And yep, so just the slightest lead, like a half a second ahead of Crunan. Man, these guys are just keeping it as close as possible. Fantastic job by both of these runners. So here we go. What's going to happen here? Sliding through. Doing a great job, taking care of everybody. As we see Crunan taking his lead back, handling his foot soldiers just a little bit better than Guto did. I would have personally gone through with a slide kick, but that's okay. He handled them okay. So we're just a couple seconds difference between these runners, guys. What an incredible show these guys are putting on for you. It's just so much work that these guys have put into this game. So definitely congratulate both of these runners for the amount of work, and amount of hard work that they put into the game. So great job. Great job. A little bit of trouble there on Guto's part with the yellow foot soldier that decided to walk up. Sometimes that'll happen. So we'll see Leatherhead on the right first, followed by Leatherhead on the left. So 5 seconds, guys. That is nothing when it comes to it. So here we go as we see Leatherhead getting the business handled here by Raphael as he goes through with the specials, and a little bit of a hit there on Guto's part. Gonna cost him a little bit of time there. But with the way that Guto's second stage ran last time, he definitely can catch up. So let's see if Guto can make some of that magic happen again here in second stage, going into the mysterious ghost ship. So again, same basic strat there on Crunan's part. Top right of the screen as we see Guto back left of the screen. So doing a great job, taking care of business with all the foot soldiers. Going to try and build up that number count as he gets some, tries to make another one-up or anything like that. Insurance one-ups at this point, because these guys don't need very many one-ups to complete this game. But great job, both of the runners not taking any damage. And if they do take damage, you'll see the intentional death here on stage, just like you've seen Crunan in the last part. It was a really good stage one on Crunan's part. I think both of them definitely had a pretty decent stage one coming into this, but Crunan having a very good start. As we see the last bit of Mousers here for these runners, and here we go. Last set of Mousers there for Gutosur as we see the mysterious ghost ship on Crunan's side. We're looking at about 10 seconds now between the runners, as we see Crunan taking the slight advantage and doing a very good job managing his foot soldiers. So we'll see what happens here. Crunan knowing what's at stake at this point, and both of them knowing that if they take a loss here, that's over. So, there's a shot followed by a shuriken. So here's our chance to see Guto to make his way back into this race. So right now we're still about a scene ahead, but Guto doing a great job taking care of business with these foot soldiers, going back and forth, making sure that they're dying, and we're right back to these guys being on the same page. So literally just a couple seconds difference between these guys once those left foot soldiers are done. So Crunan doing his best to keep his distance from Guto at this point as he moves the stage along, moving through the barrel area, as we see the barrels fall for the second time there for Crunan. So we're actually going to see a little bit of a gap between our runners at this point. So Crunan taking just a little bit more of a slight lead on Guto at this point. But anything can happen again. We have Rocksteady coming up. Rocksteady being a very heavy hitter for both of these guys. And anything can happen at that point. All right, Crunan making his way down into the cave first, followed by Guto, not too far behind. Like 2 or 3 foot soldiers difference, so maybe 3 seconds at this point. So here we go. Pushing the foot soldiers out of the way, hit that box, get rid of all of those foot soldiers. Fantastic job there on his part. There we go. All right, so Rocks Monsters being handled just fine as we see both of these guys pretty much dead even in their tracks. Can't really say there's one person too far ahead at this point, but we will see Rocksteady first on Crunan's side after we get through this little part. As long as there's no little hiccups, but I don't see there being too many with these runners at this point. They've shown pretty much why they are our finalists. So Rock Monsters, both handling Rock Monsters fantastically. All right, waiting for the Rock Monster to come onto the stage. Here we go. All right. Last set there for Guto. Crunan handling his just fine and moving on into the foot soldier area. And there we go. Rocksteady coming on stage. Literally a half a second difference between these guys at this point. These guys are ready for Rocksteady coming in, as we see just the a little bit more of a safer strat here on Guto's side, as we see Crunan pulling out all the shots against Rocksteady, knowing what's at stake and who he's up against. But we see a little bit more of a safer strat there on Guto's part, which seems to have paid off just slightly. Literally 3 seconds difference between our runners. But great job on both of their parts. Both have the same amount of health, so we're going to see about a 4-second difference. But it's dead. It's literally neck and neck at this point between our runners. So here we go. Gonna get all of those monsters on the left side of the screen. Both of them doing a great job taking care of both of them. There we go. Foot soldiers being handled very well. And here we go. Screens moving at the same time. Very hard to keep track for this announcer, but we'll try and keep up. But they're doing a fantastic job. The one shot for both of them, for all three of those, doing a great job of making sure that they're keeping track. This is Turtles at its finest, guys. Fantastic run on both of these guys' parts. We do see a little bit of an advantage here on Guto's part. Not much, maybe 3 seconds at this point. But Crunan definitely keeping track. He knows what's at stake at this point. And all it's going to take, again, is one bad boss fight, and then everything switches. Or it stays the same. But as we see these runners just knowing exactly where these things are coming out, we see Guto handling pretty well, actually doing a very good job on the hideout part 1. So we do see a little bit of a lead here on Guto's part. So about 6 or 7 seconds difference at this point, as we see about 2 scenes difference. But missing a couple of foot soldiers is Guto. So all it takes is Crunan handling his foot soldiers just a little bit better, and we can see another change of lead here on Crunan's part. But great job by both of these runners. Wow, but whew. Yep, just slight though. It's not a lot. Literally, anything could happen. One missed foot soldier is going to change this lead at this point, guys. That's what we're talking about. If you have one bad foot soldier, like right there, that was a bad foot soldier right there. If Crunan were to take advantage of this, we could see these guys dead heat right again. We're 1 scene difference at this point, guys. Not bad. Not a bad run on both of these guys' parts. Here we go. Laser section here for Guto. Doing a good job trying to stay right, trying to make sure that these guys come right, but they are just not behaving. So he's going to have to go get them. There we go. Laser section here for Crunan. And, Crunan taking a little bit more damage there than Guto did. So this is looking a little grim on the part of Crunan. But here we go. So, both of them at the same scene. Correct me if I'm wrong, as we see Tatsu for the first time. So here we go. Tatsu fight coming up for both of our runners. Guto's going to have the slightest advantage, as he's going to be able to attack Tatsu first. So not bad. Very good job on both of these runners' parts. So we're talking just a couple of seconds at this point. Tatsu is dead on the right side of our screen, as we see Tatsu take his final hit there on the right side. So I'll let you know how much time's difference here in just a sec. So we're seeing 13-12 for Cowabunga, and we're seeing 8-second difference, guys. 8 seconds difference at this point. So Cowabunga came at 8 seconds. So not bad. So we're going to see just the scene difference between these guys for the first part, and you'll see a little bit of catch up here on Crunan when it comes to the boss fights, as long as he's handled the boss fights the way he has earlier. Guto struggling just a little bit when it came to his earlier gauntlets, handling it very well last time, but as long as he's able to handle his Leatherhead fight fine, should move through this pretty well. But not bad on the part of Crunan to only stay about 8 seconds behind at this point. You just keep it going, and we'll see yet another tight race right at the end. All right, here we go. So both of these runners handling their fights very well. Guto could have handled it one jump earlier, but that's not going to cost a ton of time for him. So there we go. As we see Guto handling his fights very well this time, not taking any damage on Rocksteady. So just going to wait for him to go back over. I know he wanted to probably dash a little earlier, but that's okay. So here we go. Both of our runners on Rocksteady. Ooh, taking one shot, taking two shots, and that's going to make him jump. Yep, there we go. So here's our shot for Crunan to take his lead back. So here we go. Both of them struggling a little bit. There we go. Crunan has officially taken his lead back. So just slightly ahead of Guto at this point. So nothing going, just a bad fight. One bad fight is going to change everything. Literally 2 shots difference. But here we go again. We might see yet another change right here. So as we, that is a death on Guto's part. That is going to cost him. But he'd still stay in it. Both of them killing Tatsu at the same time. Both have the same amount of lives. So we're very close at this point. We're going to see Crunan getting to Baxter just slightly ahead. It is literally in sync. You could literally put these guys, you could put the run right on top of each other, and you wouldn't see much of a difference at this point, doing so much to try and stay ahead. So here we go. As we see the back and forth there on Crunan's part, doing a great job of keeping him in place, getting hits every single time, getting the specials in, and here we go. As long as he gets one more good special in there, that is it. There we go. Stockman is dead on the right side of our screen, as Guto is going to fall a little bit further behind of Crunan, but not too much. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. We're not talking a whole lot of time. Cowabunga at 16:39 there. So where are we going to be? 11, 12, 13 seconds difference between our runners. Very good Stockman fight on Crunan's part. So here we go. Yeah, definitely bad Baxter there. Baxter is such a pain in the butt, but that's okay. 13 seconds, again, nothing to either of these runners. 13 seconds can be made up in no time. So here we go, as we see the robots on the right side of the screen, and see right there is where we're going to see a little bit of a delay there on Crunan as he took the shot from the robots. But is Crunan too far ahead for Guto to catch up? We will see. As we see the rock monsters coming in to play here on Crunan's side, as the Mousers are on the left-hand side. So here we go. So we're just going to look and we're going to watch and see what changes and what happens. If there's any type of hit at this point on Crunan's side, we'll see a little bit of a gap difference change there for Guto, as long as he keeps going at the pace that he's at right now. Yes, that's right. Goonies say never die, guys. So we're going to keep going. So here we go. All right, so foot soldiers coming in left to right. Crunan handling them very well. Going to handle the one to the right, to the left, and then to the middle. Fantastic job. All right, handle the one to the bottom there. Definitely wanted to try and get the slide to get both of them, but didn't cost him a lot of time to try and get both of them with 2 different shots. So here we go. As we see the slides back and forth for Crunan. Playing it a little safe for the next part being the Freezy Pops. We've seen a very good Freezy Pop section for Crunan as he continues to do a fantastic job of taking care of the foot soldiers. All right, so Gutosur is definitely gonna have to play a little bit more catch up. In a bad spot right there with the Freezy Pop. It's a little bit off the screen where he can't reach it. We might see a death here on Guto's part. Yes, there it is. Crunan's gonna break away just a little bit from his opponent. So great job handling the balls the way he did. Slide right underneath them, won't take a shot as long as he's in the slide. All right, Rock Monsters, here we go. Second set of Rock Monsters, third set of Rock Monsters. Great job on all of them, and last set of Rock Monsters. And laser section here for Crunan as we see the ball section here for Guto. Guto taking a little bit of a shot there, but still handling foot soldiers very well, going left and right. Probably wanted the dash attack instead of the slide, but still, there's one set of Rock Monsters too. And here comes Krang for Crunan. Can we get the quick Krang fight for this last race? He's done very well on all of his Krang fights. No issues thus far. Guto struggling a little bit on his foot soldiers there. But here we go. Going left, going right is Crunan. As we see Krang there on the left side of our screen. Great Krang fight on Crunan's part. So off to the elevators. Here we go. As we see Gutosur going to be fighting Krang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run to the left. There you go. Run to the right. And run to the left. Great job by Guto. Get himself in the middle of the screen. Give yourself a little bit of time back. That's right. Great job on Guto's part. But here we go. Crunan having a fantastic start to his elevator action stage as he's doing a great job taking out the right side with one shot, going back into the left side, just 2 shots on each of those. Fantastic job. And here we go. We're going to be coming down to another very close race between these runners. So we're at, let's see here. So robots here on this guy's part. And here we go. All right, robots are going to come up here for Guto as we see Mousers on the right side of the screen for Crunan. Here we go. So we'll see what happens coming into this last part of the race. See what happens with Shredder. Shredder's definitely going to have the final say on who wins this race. Will Crunan get a good enough pattern on Shredder, or will he give him a shot, or give Guto a shot to come back into this race? Let's find out here very shortly. So here we go. Great job. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. All right. I know he was looking for the 3 shot. There it is. Just needed to come down just a little bit further. But let's not count Guto out at this point. We are very close at this point. Got it. Ooh, maybe. All right, so we're going to see Shredder. Shredder for the last time in this race, guys. All right, here we go. All right. Shredder's going to build up. Let's see what happens here with Guto. Guto handling all of his foot soldiers very well. Moving into the Shredder fight as well. So let's go. All right. Shredder, are you going to play nice? Looks like he is. He's giving him a pretty decent pattern. So here we go. He's going to stay in line. But if he keeps throwing those green balls, that's what's going to cause a difference. But looking like, I think we're going to see it here. There it is. GG to Crunan. Crunan with a 23-11. Crunan has become our champion of the tournament. Congratulations to Crunan for coming back from the loser's bracket and winning out the Hyperstone Heist Grand Finals. Crunan is our champion. GG to him. Great job on his part. All right, but that's not to say Guto has not battled in this tournament. He is, he did go into the winners bracket final, so he was our winners bracket person. Second place in this is not to be slouched at, that's for sure. Congratulations to both of our runners. 30-second difference between our runners, but definitely a GG between these guys. It was awesome to go to a third and final race. So I know that we're going to have some interviews here from our runners, so we can do some post-match interviews, as well as a special guest, ZG, who's going to be joining us as well to do commentary with the runners. So hold on tight. We'll get these guys in and say congratulations and everything else. So great job by both of these runners. That is right, Chief. That was an incredible race. All right. So we are... we're seeing. I'm going to wait on to see if any of our runners are going to be joining us. It was a great race on their part, but GG to both runners. 23:11, so sub 24 on both of these runners. Great races all around on these guys. All right, so I'm just waiting on just official word to see if either of these guys are going to be joining us. And then after that, we'll get ZG in here for some final words on how the tournament went. So here we go. And, all right, and just a reminder that Pizza Time is right on the brink. That is coming up. It's happening May 23rd. And tomorrow, our Super Smash TV top 8 matches start around 7:30. So make sure you guys check that out. 7:30 Eastern, Super Smash Brothers. Or no, Super Smash TV. I'm so sorry. I just got done playing some Smash Brothers. But Super Smash TV coming up at 7:30 tomorrow. And Pizza Time happening on the 23rd. As I do see that Crunan has joined us. And when he can get his mic live, welcome in. Glad to have you in. Congratulations on the big tournament win. That was huge on that part and incredibly close. Guto putting up an incredible fight. What did you think of how the outcome went?
I am exhausted. that was...
I was just watching. But amazing run. The new strats definitely coming in handy for you. Definitely seeing a lot of speed there in your Baxter. And your crane fights, phenomenal every time, man.
Yeah, at least for the races, I know that ZG has convinced me to try the new crane quick kill, but during these races, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go with my regular 6 hits, go from side to side, and just hope for the best. But for the last Baxter fight, I was so surprised like how many aerial hits I got in there before I got knocked down.
It was really good. Were you keeping time on it by chance?
No.
No. I was curious because I thought that ran really well, so I didn't know if it was something that was one of your personal bests or not. But the fantastic gauntlet is what really got you ahead of Guto at that point. So was really good on that part. Again, congratulations. And congratulations on world record, my man. That is a heck of a feat to get up at the top there and join the likes of Turbo and ZG. So congrats.
Thank you. I've had some really good teachers. ZG's definitely helped a bunch, giving me a couple of strats here and there, also finding stuff as the game progressed. Turbo with his tutorial at the very beginning was very helpful to get started, and a lot of things that go on in Turbo's previous world record run is actually a lot. You just gotta hear it out, and at least during that Baxter fight, I know that I heard like a lot of mashing. I was like, why is he mashing that attack button so much? And like, oh, because it forces the attack to go, and so I've been lucky. This has been a great event, and well, it's not over yet. There's still pizza
No,
time.
it's not. You've got one more race coming for you. So a best 3 out of 5 coming up for you this Sunday. So good luck to you on that. And definitely will be around to check that out, and looking forward to seeing it. So anything else you'd like to say?
No, but thanks for everyone's watching today, and the support of all of people who are watching me up on my Twitch channel.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out Crunan over at Crunan __ here on the Twitch. So he's doing some awesome things with this game as of late, but does a lot of other speedruns as well. So make sure you check him out. But with that said, looks like we've got the man of the hour here, the guy that's basically put this all on in the background, and with ZG here. Welcome in, ZG. Glad to have you here. I know you've got some things you want to say, so I'm going to hand this off to you, and you can do your thing. Make sure you guys check out ZG as well here on Twitch if you haven't. Former world record holder of this game, and I know he's definitely working his way back into this game to try and take that over here before pizza time is coming up. So, ZG, the mic's yours. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I do want to thank Mr. Dino and ZG for putting this event on, doing a lot of good things with this. So thank you so much on that part and that behalf. At this point, handing the mic over to ZG. And ZG, thanks again for everything you've done, teaching us on how to run this game and being a part of this from beginning to end. So off to you, my man.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. So that was an incredible grand finals match, right, guys? So it's just, oh my God, it was just so many close calls between Crunan and Guto at that point, and I was on the edge of my seat, especially in that second to last match when it was down to half a second difference between Guto and Crunan. Guto just barely winning, despite having a bad shredder fight, but still managed to make sure that we had 3 rounds during the second set of matches. So this was an incredible tournament, even though we only had like 6 people on board. But long story short, guys, basically I wanted to put up this bounty for this game for the longest time because Hyperstone Heist needed the love. Like, so many people run Turtles in Time, and since I basically started my run on this game last year to try to get the world record. At the time, Turbo Gilman set the bar from first to rest of the leaderboard, and it's such a huge difference. And I love the game so much to the point where I just wanted to just gun it. And after a few months worth of grinding, I managed to overtake Turbo in multiple categories. But and then we had an amazing pizza time relay race. If you guys want to check that out, so it was also a pretty close call during last pizza time. So I put up the bounty for this game this year so I can get more people invested, and a good number have quite responded. We had I awarded multiple spots to basically everyone who participated in the bounty for easy, normal, and hard. And obviously, the people in chat, Crunan and Jeff, have partaken in the bounty as well as the tournament. They've performed very well. And it was actually Mr. Dino who came up with the idea of the tournament in the first place. And I agreed to say, look, hey, let's do this. And I'm glad you guys got to see a good portion of what's unfolded. So, Crunan, thank you. Congratulations on winning the tournament. And good luck in your match against Turbo Gilman in the post-tourney match, as well as we also got at pizza time the 4-way race for this game between Crunan, Gutosur, myself, and Lightning Collector at pizza time. So that's going to be something to look forward to. So once again, Crunan, congratulations. How do you feel?
As I said, I'm exhausted. Guto put on one hell of a match.
Good to hear. Yeah, good luck in your post tournament match against Turbo Gilman, and I hope you rest well after today.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'd love to see if like people point out the old strats versus new strats.
Exactly. All right, my time on the mic is done, guys. Jeff, I'll hand it to you to finish off the stream, and you guys take care.
All right. Thanks so much, ZG, for popping in and getting a couple words in. And as we finish up this event, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping in to GG Speedruns. And just make sure you guys check out the rest of the events coming up, especially tomorrow with Super Smash TV finishing up very shortly. So that tournament's been going on along with this one, and that's been pretty hype as well. So make sure you check them out tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you then. For in the meantime, take care, guys. We'll see you again next time. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. We'll see ya.